ஹலோ, யாரு? தன்ராஜா? நான் தான் ராமசாமி பேசுறேன்.
Hello, welcome to Vanga Pesla. இன்னைக்கு என்னோட ஷோல my two nieces, Varshini and Harini, who are sisters. Hello, Varshini.
Hi.
Hey, Harini.
Hi.
That's good. Okay.
They know me well. I'm actually in every other video.
That's good. That's good. So today we're going to talk about the famous show Mare of Easttown, which came on HBO. So I'm the one like who asked you to watch it, right? Oh, you guys saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Varshini, can you tell me like a very summary about the Mare of Easttown?
It's basically a whodunit. So there's a murder, and the protagonist is the cop, and she's investigating it, and it revolves around a small town in Pennsylvania, and how their life is, and basically what are the things that lead up to the murder, and basically find out, who did it.
So Harini, can you introduce Mare to us? Who is Mare and what does she do? What's her background?
I don't know why I felt like I didn't watch this show, even though I totally did. I've like forgotten most things. Anyway, Mare is a cop or detective, and she lives with her mom, her daughter, and her grandson. She is divorced, but is still very close to the family. And then when they do introduce the character, it's like super telling that everyone in the town knows Mare really well. So like they talk about it, they bring it up a bunch of times that everyone's family and everyone's friends, and it's a very close-knit town. So she is somewhat the superhero of the town, because every time there has been occurrences of, missing cases or murder mysteries or anything in the past, she's apparently been the one to solve it. So she comes off kind of as a superhero. But when the show starts off, because of all the anxiety of what's happening, she's also looked at as the villain. And everyone's like, you're Mare, how are you not figuring this out? Like, there's a lot of pressure towards all that. So it's kind of just following the journey of like, how does she mingle well with the town while going through this, while still, doing her job.
So the other plot was, when I was watching this show, I was thinking of the movie Singham. That's one of Singham.
Oh yeah.
Like Surya will say, right? Ella patiya ulla mama macha tappa peripa. That's why I felt like everybody knows Mare.
Yeah.
Right? The deacon is a cousin. This guy is a schoolmate.
Yeah.
They're a schoolmate. Oh, it's close. Crazy. Third town. But the main thing to start on the Mare show was that the missing girl, and where she has not solved that case. It's a huge drama in that show starting off. And then apparently like she hit like a game-winning shot like 25 years ago, and they're still talking about it.
Right.
That was a big deal. So we have that in the show. Then the season starts off with that the missing girl, which is a kind of like in the background, that mom and her who are school friends, but she's still mad at her because she has not solved the case, and she's going there. And then we are slowly introduced to this character, the girl, who is a young girl, who's a mom, and there's a dad also. And then like she dies at the end of the first episode. So like, what did you think about all those scenes? In the first episode, she's kind of catfished like into a place, and then that's all kind of very sad to watch all those stuff to happen. And then when I saw that first murder scene, I was shocked. Wow, I thought like that girl is going to be a huge character in the show, but she is kind of. But I thought she'll be alive the entire portion. But first season itself, again. If you're not watched it, we're going to spoil the hell out of the show.
I know.
Yeah. So sorry.
This is your alert. Yeah.
But that was really sad. The Erin character dying was very, very sad.
Oh yeah, that was really sad. I think the first episode was just about like setting the tone and building character, telling like a background of each of the characters that are going to come up, just giving like a hint of what everyone's like motive is for their actions. And so to like grasp the audience with her death at the end of the episode, everyone's like, now I really need to know what is
exactly.
Going on.
Right. That was amazing.
And part of it is also when you start the show, one of the first things is you already know that there's a case going on. So you're like, oh, obviously this is what the show is going to be about. Like she's just going to try to find out who this is, and that's the whole show. And then it's like within the end of the first episode, it's already like new layers. It's like, okay, now she has to figure out this and this. And then we're starting to think, are they one person? Are they individual? And then you figure it out later. But yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I thought was she has a love, I mean, kind of like a love angle. Guy Pearce, who is a very famous actor. I don't know why he played this character. Seriously, I have no idea why he
It
chose.
was so random.
So random. I had no idea. Yeah.
Were they like overpaid and underutilized?
No.
Like,
I think it's because from what I read, like Kate Winslet and Guy Pearce like did a show together, and then like, since she's the producer of the show, a kind of executive producer, so kind of like a favor. That's what people are saying. You know, somebody was supposed to act, he dropped out, so this guy came in, and it kind of like a sort of the twist, right? Like people always think, oh, it's like definitely Guy Pearce. You know, what you see in the show.
He was really
definitely him.
nothing
Yeah,
to
that's how I thought.
He
I
was
like,
creepy. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that was going on. So then, like, once the second thing happened, then we find out that she's murdered, and then the whole case, and then we introduced this famous character, Zabel, Detective Zabel.
Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I was like, Evan Peters in this show. It
I
took me a
know.
minute to be like, where have I seen him? Where do I know
Right.
him from? Because he has a completely different look from like all of his other characters, especially his like X-Men character, and even his
Right.
WandaVision.
Marvel.
Like, he has a
Right.
completely different look. So I was like, have I seen this person before? And I was like, wait, what is he doing in this show?
I was convinced it wasn't him. That's someone else.
So I mean, like we show that like he's like a very good director. I mean, the actor
He's a really good actor.
That's good.
And you know what? There were so many articles talking about how in all of the work that he's done, he's not been utilized as well as he could have been.
Yeah.
Like WandaVision and all of it. And it's kind of like a mockery. And they were like, it's weird how like you're so good and every role you do ends up in the same position that you're just like kind of half cut, like there's not a closure to anything. And I was like, that's true.
Yeah, so now the Zabel and Mare, obviously all the dramatic thing happens, like they go like she doesn't like him, blah blah blah, all those stuff happens, and then they become good, and then they start to investigate. They find different layers now. They find like the people are the girls are missing, and then like one more girl gets kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
One more girl gets kidnapped, and that was kind of a
episode,
yes,
you
something
think
is happening.
that someone did it and then they didn't do it, and then someone else has something else happens to someone else, and then you're like, oh, so did someone else do it?
Right.
And then the following episode, you're like, again, myth busted. It wasn't them. So in the end, you're just like, who did it?
I never actually questioned Zabel though, because I was like, I trust him. Like I know what's up.
No,
It was the guy
He's
Zabel,
new to the town, so I don't think anybody questioned him.
No, I was like, you're great. I love you. You're awesome. But I didn't like the whole angle with her dating life, because I was like, that's creepy. I feel like he's up to something, and it was weird that he wasn't. I was like, what?
Yeah.
The dating life was kind of weird too.
Who's up to something? She only
I
agreed to
know.
go on a date with him.
I know.
So yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
That was crazy too, right? I mean, like Varshini said, the number of people who we thought had done it.
Yeah, it was basically everyone.
The deacon, right? And then maybe
his
cousin. The only person who was off limits was her mom. Apart from that, everybody was.
Even the mom though.
Like the girl's like boyfriend.
Yeah. I actually thought it was Shiban at one point. I was convinced.
Yeah, and I don't think Shiban, because Shiban Palmer. I don't even think Shiban could have done it because she was so busy with her love life.
I feel like suddenly they'll bring in like a new story from somewhere. So everyone was a suspect because you don't know where they're going to fill that gap of why they would do something.
Yeah.
I think, and that's where that whole like, camp situation started, right? It was like never a thing, and then in the middle of the show, they brought up the whole camp situation.
Right.
So that really like filled in the blanks, which we wouldn't have seen in like the earlier episode.
Okay. So the whole thing about DJ, right? The DJ like threatening the other girl with a gun and everything. I don't understand what's the big deal about. So why was she holding the gun and threatening the other girl? What is the secret that he wanted to hide?
Who is DJ? I'm
DJ,
forgetting.
DJ the boy.
The boyfriend.
Oh. Is that DJ?
The boyfriend.
Yeah,
it's all coming back to
it's all coming back to yeah, the coffee is kicking in.
The boyfriend threatens the best friend. That's what you're talking about.
No, the boyfriend is DJ, right? So the boyfriend is DJ, and then there's a girl.
The best friend.
She's the one that at the end of the second episode, she says like the Kate Winslet ex-husband is the father.
Right.
The whole paternity things comes. That was scary too, right? When she says that, oh my God.
So crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah, that makes sense. First,
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, it
I'm
makes,
like I'm like,
yeah,
I don't
that
need to
makes
watch this
sense.
anymore.
Yeah.
I think I just
It was
figured
so
it out.
early in the show, though. I was just like, are they like telling you exactly who it is so early in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it one of those things where they tell you who it is and then they move away from it and they come back to it? Because I thought that was gonna happen and then it wasn't that either. I was like, where is this going?
We've watched too many shows. We know all.
Yeah, I'm like,
lines.
okay, big spoiler though. And like everyone stop watching like this if you haven't watched the show. But did any of you guess it was the son that did it?
No, I did not.
No, I knew it was in the family though. I definitely.
I know. No. I thought it was, I mean, I know it is not Billy. I thought it could have been John. Laurie was a very, very high on the list. But the son, I was very, that was others.
We don't see him enough. Okay, so
Yeah.
for me, towards the end, I was like, don't they have a kid? And
No,
we
but
didn't see him
again,
enough.
if you like think about it, like, there are some hints, right? They show him to
Yeah,
be a very
that's why I was
angry
like, I
kid, angry kid.
Yeah.
So the father and son having like a conversation, but otherla they kind of hidden as kind of
They hid it,
cheating.
yeah,
And
they
all.
really-
Any
Very
number
nice.
of reasons. Like I think people don't question that narrative because they're so okay with like seeing this background of like a troubled child in like a troubled home and like things going wrong. They don't like suspect that the child is feeling bad in a situation like that because the whole town is like a little messed up.
Also, it was super interesting that no one thought about it as, oh, it could be two different things happening. Like the dad could have cheated and someone else. Like we never thought about it like that. It's like, oh, if the dad cheated, it's obviously him that committed the murder. Like we never thought about it as like, okay, it could be someone helping someone or someone being mad at someone. Like it's not like a two dynamic thing. And we never thought about it that way.
The great thing about the show, which I liked, was one is the boy killing was awesome. And the way they found out, we all find out at the same time, like Mare is finding out.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like we know before next scene. We all friends. Oh my God! And the video.
Right.
Oh man, that
and
makes
you know
sense.
what? That scene when she visits him at school, and then he kind of just looks at her and then starts running.
The summer scene.
He's like, he knows. But that's also the tiny things in the show that they've covered up every loose end. Like the gun, the way the house where he steals the gun.
Yeah.
There's like a the security camera doesn't work, and there was somebody there. There was a reason for her to be there, and
and even
those little gaps they've filled in.
Yeah, and even when the one neighbor, the old guy dude, is talking about it being in a shed, and he's like, the only other person that does the or has been in here is the guy who like mows the lawn, the kid. And even then you're like, oh, it can't be him, but maybe it's him. He just got the gun to the dad. Like I still didn't question it at that point. I was like, this kid did not go shoot some girl. Like I did not think about it in that way. So just really wild that it took you till literally the last minute of just like, she just found out.
It's really good.
It actually is so fitting for the whole theme of the show because someone's actions is impacting somebody else's actions, and that you see that theme throughout the show. Like someone else makes a mistake and someone else pays for it every step of the way. Like the parents are suffering when the kids go missing, and like Mare is suffering from like other people's like drug addiction, or everyone is suffering from someone else's actions. And so it only makes sense that this kid was so affected by what she had seen, what he had seen with his dad. So the whole comes together. It makes sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, I also thought it was incredible, like how like sensitive it was feeling when you were watching that whole like montage of her like calling them and like trying to get this kid arrested, and then she was parking and she did not want to get out of that car. And she's like trying not to like tear up, but she is. And it's like destroying her from the inside, like worse than Laurie in a lot of ways. She's just like, I have to do this to a kid, not only that. And then I also have to do this to my friend, and I know this kid. So you could just see her being like, shattered to pieces, and she did that really well.
Awesome. The only thing I didn't like was, I don't know why they had to do an accent. I mean, we had no idea like what accent she was doing, right? Exactly like the
Murdur.
Durdur, that's one of the greatest skit of all time. When they're watching us laughing
So
crazily. Oh my god.
Yeah, we gotta get some. So
Yeah.
if you haven't watched the show, watch the show, and then you gotta go watch SNL.
Murdered. Murdered.
Murder. Oh my
Something.
god.
Just say
I
murder.
mean, whatever they said is 100% true, right?
Yeah, I think
100%
I watched
true.
that because Elon Musk was in that episode. So I watched the entire show, the whole episode, and I was like, should I have watched Mare of Easttown? And then that was the exact weekend that you said watch Mare of Easttown.
It was
So, yeah, it was just the funniest thing. Like it
But
really
then
got me
who
interested in
murdered
this.
my Durdur?
And then in the end, it's like, yeah, yep, it's the priest. Yes, it's
That's exactly.
Oh, that priest one was
That's-
interesting too. The priest in the show was
That's what I'm saying, right? The number of people who came as a candidate was almost everyone in the show, right?
yeah. What did you guys think of the whole like the situation within her own home and her son killing himself and all the things?
That
like
was
what?
just a layer, right? That was just a layer because see, I think that story was there to show the past trauma in her life and what she's actually going through and the divorce with her husband and all those things.
Yeah.
And another main thing was it was the triggering point for her to plant that evidence against that mom, right? Which got her suspended. So that is where like she goes on a date with Zabel to get the information.
True.
So a lot of things it just comes.
It's like a
slowly.
domino effect.
Yeah, domino effect. So
yeah, everything is connected. They did that really well. I mean, it also comes together in the end that you see that some part of the town recovers from everything that's happening, but another part of the town is like getting shattered from what is happening. But
Yeah. And she
it's
very
nice
much
that
is,
Mare is on the side where she can't cope from all of these things.
she very much is also in the middle. Like she's not denying that she's not affected by it.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't talk about these things, but she's also like, I'll help solve issues, you know? So she plays like kind of like the person that balances both the sides because they're very contrast.
I feel like anyone in that position, when everyone in the town is your family, you're literally suspecting people who you talk to every day, you've grown up with. You need to like have that eye for like suspicion as well as be like, I sort of believe you. And we see that with that the guy who's a drug addict who breaks in and has all of the girl who got murdered, her stuff. You see that sort of like dichotomy where she's trying to do the right thing, but she's also like, he's my friend and he died. You know?
Yeah, the other thing was every episode they had like a cliffhanger, right? The first episode she dies. Second episode we find out that Frank would be the dad, right? Third episode we just find out about like getting like suspended. You know, man, people are laughing in the review. She got suspended. We're only 3 episodes in. What's going on? Who's going to solve the case? What's happening?
Right.
And the fourth one was where like we find out about the kidnapping and the girl is alive. The girl who has been searching.
That episode was wild.
Why? But the best one is episode 5. Mr. Zabel dying was amazing.
That's the one I meant. When they go into the house.
Like
and
you
then,
would
and then when the girls were like knocking on the pipe or like shaking the pipe, I was like, let me help. I was like, what can I do here? That was such a good scene. They did it incredible.
Everything moved so fast in that scene.
Yeah. And the way he got shot, it's like it was so quick and it's like unimaginable that it was gonna happen.
No, I don't understand. In almost every movie, every show, these two cops who are supposed to be the smartest people, they are so dumb. They go unarmed, and then they go to the den, and then they don't call for backup.
Without calling for backup.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment they saw the Winston cigarette, they said, "Hey, you know what? We had to go. We'll be back right back." And then that's all they would have said.
There's so much they could have done. Yeah.
No,
but again, if you think about it, somebody's there. Like knocking on the pipe, they know somebody's alive. If they come back, he could have killed them. You know, a lot of things. You know?
I say the minute they found out that this guy had, because the way that they knew was the van, right? He had like a van or like a truck or something.
The van was one of the things, but the main thing was there was cigarette. The Winston.
Oh, okay. That's when you call for backup. Okay. That's when you're like, come on.
They find that out only like
shaking so fast. Like you're put in a position where you don't know how to react when something like that happens. Before they can think he's shot. So I don't know what they could have done. But it is such a
that episode was also like, despite Zabel's dying and all of that, it was also crazy because it proved that these two cases are different and don't have anything to do with each other.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, so we're starting from square one.
Exactly.
So what's
Yeah.
like, what is happening?
Now Zabel is gone, and we have to go back
Right.
and find out who killed Erin. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like, so this actually has nothing to do with Easttown. Like, what are you talking about?
Crazy.
I'll tell you one thing that actually did make sense. That Erin took a photo of her in the cabin with her uncle, printed it out, and put it in her journal.
Yeah, I'm like,
why did she
babe,
go
I
through
don't
so
know.
much
Hey.
trouble?
It's true love, baby. It's true love, right?
That's the grossest thing in the world.
She probably was like, I'm gonna go someday and I need this to be caught. she
Yeah,
pre-planned
that
it.
just did not make sense. I mean, even if
Yeah.
it was a photo on her phone, or like she had sent it to somebody, or anything.
No,
like
but
that.
again, if you think about
She
it,
has
I
a
mean,
journal.
Who does that in
it's in a
2021?
journal,
Yeah.
well hidden, like known only to a friend.
No, yeah, that
whom she
makes
trusted.
sense.
Yeah, whom she trusted.
That makes, yeah, that
In
makes sense.
2021, people keep like online journals. I mean, fine, she doesn't keep an online journal, but she
Hey,
printed
she's
out
from
a photo.
Philadelphia,
She took a
okay?
photo, she printed out a photo. What is she doing?
I mean, I don't know, something about it, I think it's sentimental because the whole narrative with Erin is that she's a mom, First things first, she's a mom, like nothing else
This
matters to
happened
her.
before she
I
was
know,
a
but
mom.
I'm saying like her even using her boyfriend in some sense is like to get the money to make sure her child is okay, the ear surgery, like all that stuff. So she's a mom first. And I feel like the whole picture into the journal, it's very just like, it's like very storytelling. It's not like, okay, I just took a picture on my phone and it could go on TikTok. Like, I don't know. It's not anything that she's just messing around with. So at some part of it is like, if my child was to grow up and wanted to see the father, like this photo exists. Like, I'm thinking it's more so like, it's like this thing that she's built up in her head that like, okay, I know that DJ is going to act as the father, but like she knows who the real father is. And it's not something you can just keep on your phone. Like it needs to be something tangible. So I get that storyline. I feel like it would be weird if you just were
I
like,
feel like an 18-year-old girl is not going to walk into CVS and print out a photo and put it.
That kind of makes sense.
No, that makes sense. But I'm also just like, when you put a journal in the picture, it's like that already becomes
It's
very
also
just like,
I mean, if she had even like written it down in the journal and that girl had like torn a page or something, I would have accepted it. Yeah.
That was very, that was kind of a weird story. The thing about DJ, the boyfriend, what I found out was apparently his parents loved the baby. Apparently the DJ know from day one that he's not the father, but his parents loved this kid like a grandson. So he didn't want to lose that. So he was trying to hide all the fact that he's not the father. Some kind of weird stuff, but anyway. A DJ was simply a distraction for us.
Why.
Yeah.
He had like some affection.
Some affection to
parents also. And I actually really like the ending with him being like, oh, this is the money I saved up and this is the money. She's like, that was good closure.
After all this, he's a very nice guy. Seriously.
He's actually really nice. So we don't want you to judge him.
Yeah, don't judge him. He had a gun at one point. But that's
like,
fine.
Whatever. It's Easttown. What do you want? Yeah.
It was kind of very scary. I don't know, kind of they showed him to be a very creepy kid and everything. He was threatening the other girl. He was threatening this girl. At the end, he's a good guy. He gave the money.
That's the thing though, like that's a common narrative with all of them. They're all creepy at some point. Like when you find out, oh, the ex knew something about this, and then John, and then Billy. Like Billy stayed in a cabin with this girl, and she's how many years younger than you? Like it all sounds creepy until it's not. So it's just a weird flex.
I mean, Billy did the worst thing, which is why if all of these like things like trickle down. And
like Billy needs to go.
But they're like, he's not a murderer, so he's not the bad guy. I mean, he's still the bad guy.
I also thought it was so funny how like after how many ever episodes, the dad slowly was like, it's like, remember the day when Billy was like completely covered in blood? I'm like, why are you bringing this up now, Dad?
Actually, I thought the grandpa could have done it. That's why I thought.
Grandpa was wild.
I thought maybe because of some random character. Hey, it's possible. Maybe this guy, something is there. But at the end
the kid had the same screen presence. They had only like limited amount of time. So yeah.
But one of the most saddest character in the entire show was Laurie, right? Ultimately, the husband cheated on her, the son killed the girl, and then now she has to take care of the baby who's this?
Oh,
Oh,
it's not
that's
even her child.
not even
Yeah.
a child. Oh, but the last scene, amazing, right? The one where like Mare goes to this.
Yeah,
Oh, that was so
So
very
good.
nice. Yes, the two friends making
And
up.
you could tell the whole time that Laurie completely understood. Like, even though, all the yelling that she did, we would have hoped that she did that because it wouldn't have made sense for her to be like, oh, Mare, it's just your job. It's fine. But at the end, like, she knew the whole time. She was like, she did do her job. There's no way I was stopping her from this. And even the way that Mare, like, treated the kid and, like, made sure she, like, walked to the car, put him in there, and was just the end. The last thing she says to him is, like, you're going to be okay. And all of that was treated so well. And then the whole hug and the kitchen floor, it was just so sweet.
Amazing. And it's a great scene. It's a great. I mean, she's a very good actress. Like both Kate Winslet, but the only thing was the accent. That was
accent
bothering me.
was
But it's
really,
okay. I mean, the
I
same
mean, even
story.
with the accent, she came through with like her
came
acting.
through. But I'm saying the same
I think it was
show.
weird enough to where I didn't notice it after a certain point. I was just like, anything could happen in this town. The accents are the least of my concerns. It's like, yeah.
No, if you think about it, if the same show had been in UK, like in a town in UK, it would have worked perfectly, exactly the same thing. I don't think nothing would have mattered.
I was gonna say you should watch.
Being an American
I don't know.
It has nothing to do with You should watch Broadchurch.
I was just gonna say,
I know Broadchurch.
A very similar type.
Same,
story.
what do you call, like, storyline.
But maybe creepier.
Lot creepier, lot more disturbing for sure.
Very disturbing, especially season 1.
Yeah,
So.
especially
But it's Olivia Colman and what's his name?
Yeah, I know Olivia Colman.
Doctor Who guy.
Yeah. So
I heard about that show, but I also watched another show with the girl from the X-Men. It's not X-Men, X-Files. Gillian Anderson. She was in a show I watched. I thought it was a very creepy show though.
Yeah.
It's a guy like who comes on that 50 Shades of Grey, the hero.
Yeah.
That's a great show too. It's a very nice show.
Yeah.
That's a very creepy show too.
So what is there a season? I don't know how they're.
No, I think it's done. I think
it's like a limited series, right?
Series,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We don't need more.
This is what was the Hugh Jackman, Nicole Kidman one? I think it was a little bit better.
Oh,
than
The
that.
Undoing.
Yeah, Undoing. And the thing about The Undoing was it was very written for TV. The ending was like cliffhanger every single time.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
everyone just knew it was him the whole time. Spoiler.
Yeah, it's also very straightforward. The Undoing.
Yeah. But this was a lot better than that. Even though that was also something that I was watching week by week to know what was happening. This had like a more excitement to it. That was just like this is how it's
and even though a lot of this was about obviously the murder mystery, like so much of it was just about us following the people in this town and their lives. Like literally, like I'm going out to get milk and then I come back home and my mom is yelling at me. Like that's most of the show actually. Like, and she's going on a date and it's like people being divorced and how it's like to be in a small town. Like the murder is almost just becomes like a layer and it's not even actually what the show is about. And that I think was also interesting. Like we're just watching like their day to day. So
nice.
Yeah.
A lot of it affects me how I feel like a lot of people outside of America don't see like this side of the country in like TV shows or a lot of that. And that really like came through.
Yeah,
like,
that's
young
but there are
mother,
like a lot of movies like this.
drug addiction and I mean now it's coming through, but this was like a like this happens. All of this happens.
But yeah, it's very much not, if you're thinking American TV, this is not the picture you're seeing.
Yeah,
like,
you're
by
seeing
any
like
means.
New York City and like whatever, like
or like California,
or California, you
or
don't
even just the amount of like the age group that was in the show, like they weren't young.
Yeah, they're not young.
Not like Siobhan was pretty much, the friend group was pretty much the only young people. Like you follow this like middle-aged group, which like also again barely happens on TV because it's all about being like young and whatever. That was
like
another.
The struggles were real, and it's struggles that people
it was
go through.
her whole role was very authentic. Like even her like
and that
going on a date with that guy and like what it's like to be dating when you're divorced, like all of that was very authentic.
That's nice. Yeah, the whole thing with Siobhan, that scene with Kate Winslet where she's blaming her mom. They're like, why did you let me find him? Why did you let me find him? That was very heartbreaking.
That was
So
good.
powerful. That scene was
Powerful
powerful.
scene. It's nice.
And I'm glad she went back into that attic.
Yeah.
So,
That's kind of makes sense.
like we need to be at the
See, like,
hope for
and the
her.
girlfriend
There
was nice too. The girlfriend, she was very practical and nice too. You're not going to be with me the entire time. You have to find your life. That was pretty
What
cool.
girlfriend?
What girlfriend?
Siobhan's girlfriend.
Siobhan's
Oh.
girlfriend, the DJ, not
Oh,
the
yeah,
hero
yeah, yeah.
DJ,
Not the guy
doctor,
DJ, the-
or the
The
radio,
other. Yeah.
RJ. Okay, RJ, radio jockey.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, she was pretty cool too. She said, "You got to, you got to go find your life. You can't be with me all the time." It was nice.
Also, what's the grandson's mom? She had a really interesting role.
Yeah, very,
I
very
loved that. Yeah, and the way they ended
Did a
her
good
thing as
job
well.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that scene like in the bathtub, that was, oh my goodness.
Why did they need that scene? They could have cut that
Okay,
scene out and
but
I would have
also-
lived.
Completely agree. But also, did anyone else think that kid was a little bit grown and could have just gotten up? Because I was
It was just like, why are you drowning? You're not a baby.
watching this is like, someone please watch her.
No,
too.
it's not drowning. He's not drowning. He's not drowning. That's what it's saying. He's not drowning,
He was
right?
holding
But
his breath.
imagine that image that came.
I
comes
was like, you don't need to freak out. This boy is like 5 years old. He's okay. He needs to just get up.
no, but that's what like he does at the end. He just gets up, right?
Oh yeah, I'm like, why are you so young?
Yeah.
Man, that was but a scary scene. Very scary.
No,
scene.
that was really scary.
Yeah. Oh my God. That would have
And
been
I was
the
also just
worst
like, no, even
edition.
for the mom, I was like, Mare cannot handle one more
Yeah,
death.
one
I'm
more death. Yeah,
I will not let it happen. Yeah. No, that kid was cute too.
Overall, really good show.
Very
Impactful
good
show.
show. Very show.
Yeah. it was
So now, who is your favorite character? Varshini?
My favorite character.
Billy. No, I'm kidding.
I
No,
think
we
my
hate Billy.
favorite acting wise was obviously Kate Winslet, but I think the person who went through the most in the show was Laurie. So she really like had so much going on for herself, and she brought that out in her character. So I really liked both the women and just the chemistry also between the mom and Mare and Mare's mom. He was like the best, like the comic relief of the show. So
Yeah.
just all of their characters, the women in the show, like they were great.
Yeah, I was also gonna say definitely the women and the generational like effects that you see like with the mom, the Siobhan and her grandma, like that was really nice too. And the mom apologizing in the restaurant, how she's like, yeah, I know I wasn't there for you, like whatever. And that was all great. So I think the mom and Mare for sure. But I also actually liked Frank, which is her ex, right?
Yeah.
I thought he did a really great job. Even with
He's
him,
Roy
like
from
us
The Office, by the way.
Yeah.
It took me like a whole minute to realize that. And I was like, oh my God, that's him.
Right.
The
I actually
parenthood
really
guy,
liked him. Even with us doubting him, I like that he had played that really well. And he was just like, I will tell you to your face, like, this is not me. Like, nothing about him was shady. And then he was also just a really good dad. I also liked him.
Yeah.
My favorite was the mom. Because Jean Smart is a great actress. I mean, she's in a very, very good show on HBO called Hacks. You should watch it. It's a comedy show, like a 30-minute episode, which is like a very quick watch. And it's a very funny show. You should watch it. It's very, very good. And like I said, the entire chemistry between Kate Winslet and the mom and all the fighting and everything, it's so amazing. The one that, and then like when the old guy says, like in the funeral, I had an affair with her.
And they just start laughing.
And she's like, what do you mean? This is a small town. I also liked, I can't remember his name, like the cop who's above Mare.
The sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff. Yeah, he was really good. And obviously Zabel's. Rest in peace.
Zabel,
Poor Zabel. Oh, that mom, Zabel's mom, she gives one slap, don't even come here. What I tried to do. That was amazing.
He was probably also mad because Zabel's liked Mare and she did nothing about that and broke his heart. So
no, but she tells him
that was
right,
a rough one.
like don't go out with her. She's just trying to use you.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
couldn't
That
resist.
was a rough one. Yeah. I still don't trust the author guy. What is
the
it?
boyfriend, the professor.
Yeah. I feel like he's
He's
still like
quickly out of the show. I'm like,
See, like that could be a second show if you really think about it. That could be a second show.
he's just going around town.
He does murder somebody. So
Yeah, she just doesn't know it. Yeah, that would be wild.
If
No,
I
it
were the
was
writer, I would make the show like Guy Pearce is the mentor of the guy who has these girls like in the basement. right?
And then he writes about it.
Really
He
creepy.
writes
Really
about the
creepy,
right, the
He's
mentor of this
writing out
guy,
history and then he's the person.
Yeah, like nothing to do with Erin. Erin is done, but Guy Pearce, he's the mentor of this guy, and he's like
Yeah.
mentoring other people, like in different towns. He
Yeah.
just happened to be there. Oh, that would be amazing.
He like tries to scout like really psychotic people. He's like you.
Like,
No, but
tell me,
like,
for the book.
like the same scenario like happened in Cleveland. Like one guy had like 3 girls in his basement for almost 10 years. Actually. Yeah, 10
Wow.
for some ridiculous amount of time, and the guy was playing like guitar on YouTube and and like posting videos and everything. It was absolutely nuts.
It's like what's that show, Kimmy Schmidt, where she's just in a bunker.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
I'm like, this is the only good side of any of this. Hopefully you come out and you're like Kimmy Schmidt, but that's not the case.
So yeah, this was good. So Mare of Easttown, we all liked it, we all enjoyed it, and hope like we other people watch enough. Not after this, because we spoiled everything.
Yeah,
You watch this. Yeah, if you've come this far, then
don't even watch the show.
Yeah, but yeah, it's an amazing show though. A very, very amazing show. Again, this show worked only because it hits on a weekly basis. If it's a binge thing, then I don't think it would have worked, right? If it was on Netflix,
The anticipation,
yeah, that was anything.
that worked well.
This is HBO content. Yeah.
HBO content. Yeah, I think apparently like Netflix is trying to go move to that kind of a deal. I believe they want to release weekly, which I don't think it would work for Netflix. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Family Man, I mean, I don't think we can watch like a week by week.
Yeah, I would not be going back to
You
watch
can
that.
definitely binge it. I'm watching week by week. It's no fun. No.
So, how far are you in?
You watch it really slowly, so no.
So Varshu, how far are you in on the second season, Family Man?
I think I'm in episode 5. I finished 5 episodes. How many are there?
9.
9? Oh, not 10. Okay. Oh, I have only 3 more. Okay, I can finish it today. Okay. So let me stop this recording. So thank you, ladies. Let me stop this first. I'm just stopping the recording. Hello. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe and keep watching. Thank you very much.